SSDI $1,400 fourth stimulus check for Social Security disability. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video we're specifically focusing on SSDI, Social Security disability, as requested by some of you right here in the community, as I've seen your questions showing up down below in the comment section asking for a dedicated SSDI video talking about a $1,400 fourth stimulus check or any stimulus check for that matter. That's what I want to give you here in this video, as I've seen this showing up a number of times, and again, just want to do what I can to help all of you here in the community by bringing you the latest updates, and again, focusing on your questions, your concerns, and what you really want to know right here in these videos. Now, I also do want to point this out really quickly. What I'm going to be talking about here in this video, even though I said it is a dedicated SSDI video, to be real, this all pertains to all fixed income beneficiaries from Social Security, like Social Security retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, VA, RRB, seniors, and of course, people with disabilities. So again, just want to point that out really quickly, but let's get into it and talk through the details. I want to answer your questions as far as where we currently stand, what is going on, and when could we possibly get something, and how much could something possibly be, considering what is going on, as things are changing very rapidly. It's a super weird time that we're currently living through. So let's get into it and talk through all the details. Really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here, or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. I truly appreciate your support. I just want to do whatever I possibly can to keep you informed of all of these changes, as things are happening very rapidly right now. It's a super weird, busy, and confusing time. A lot of things are coming out of Congress and the administration, and we're in the time of year right now where we're starting to see this economy starting to crack around a little bit. And again, that is all very important when it comes down to additional money or checks for fixed income beneficiaries and virtually everybody. So let's get into it and talk through the details. And again, thanks so much for being here. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. And let's get into it and answer all those questions that I've seen showing up so many times down below in the comment section. All right. So let me talk you through what's going on here. And again, I've made this very clear in other videos, but I want to throw this out there really fast here just so we can all be on the same page and so there's no misleading information. And again, I've said this many times before, so again, I think we all understand this, but we all got to pay attention to what's going on here because things are changing. And again, I've made that very clear before in other videos. I've shown you the reports, I've shown you the studies, I've shown you the economic data that's been coming out. We can clearly see things are not right. Things are not normal right now, right? It is a very weird time. Things are certainly not normal. But as of right now, a fourth stimulus check in any dollar amount has not been approved yet, okay? I think we all completely recognize that. But again, just want to throw it out there really fast just so we can all understand that and make sure that there's no misleading information saying, oh, you said. No, I didn't say for sure. I'm just simply saying, here's what's got to happen and the details behind all of this, okay? Which, by the way, I want to throw this out there really quickly. The idea of a highly focused fourth stimulus check in any dollar amount just for fixed income beneficiaries is not far-fetched at all. In fact, they did it in May of 2009. They sent out a dedicated $250 check just to fixed income beneficiaries. They could easily do that again, and there'd be no reason that they wouldn't do it, okay? I'm just simply saying. So the idea of a highly focused check just for fixed income beneficiaries is a thing. They've done it before. They could easily do it again. And in the history of this country, we've done tons of stimulus checks. So again, just because it's been a little while since we've gotten something does not mean that these things are gone forever. In fact, this is their playbook, right? It's just like a game of football or something like this. They have a playbook, right? All the different plays that they have, right? This is a major play out of their playbook, which is when the economy goes down, when the economy contracts, print up a bunch of money, push it out into the economy. And one way they do that is by giving the people stimulus checks to stimulate the economy, right? All right, so I've explained that many times before in other videos. I probably don't need to go down that road again because honestly, it's just, you know, it's kind of a long story, kind of essentially explaining what goes on, but that's what it comes down to. They basically use us, the people, to give us money, and they tell us to go spend it to stimulate the economy so they can get what they want, which is economic growth, okay? Jobs created, business spending, inventory builds, manufacturing, supply build, stuff like that. That's what it comes down to. Anyway, here's what I want to point out for you really fast here. Regardless of who we're talking about, whether we're talking about SSDI, SSI, retirement beneficiaries, doesn't really matter, or everybody all inclusive, I just want to point this out for you. It's all pretty much one and the same, okay? So well, I was going to say there's not going to be like a dedicated SSDI check, essentially, okay? There would be a fixed income beneficiary check in the event of something actually happening, okay? It wouldn't just be like, well, SSDI beneficiaries are going to get it. If they're going to do a highly focused check, it would be something for all fixed income beneficiaries, about 70 million people. Or if they had income thresholds, then maybe it'd be a little bit less than that, but essentially it'd be all fixed income beneficiaries. But let me point out really quickly what it would take to get something like this approved out of Congress, okay? It takes the economy, okay? It all comes down to the economy, okay? I've made this very clear in other videos, and I want to talk about it really quickly again here. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail like I've done in other videos, but let me break it down really fast, okay? It's all about the economy. When the economy contracts, when the economy goes into a recession, which is depending on who you're asking these days, some people would say we are for sure 100% in a recession right now. Some other people would say, no, we're not in a recession. We are definitely not going into a recession. Like, for example, again, this is not a bash on anybody in particular. I'm just pointing out a couple names for people that say, oh no, we're not going into recession. The president and people like the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, have also come out and suggested, oh no, we're not going to see a recession this year. Well, obviously they're going to say that. They're the ones that are in charge. Why would the people in charge say, hey, we're doing a terrible job, we're going into a recession? They're never going to say that. Even when we're in a confirmed recession, they're not going to come out and say, hey guys, we're in a recession. They're going to say, oh no, we think this is just a little blip on the screen. We'll be totally fine, okay? Again, depends on who you ask. So I'm just simply saying, some people are suggesting right now we are in a recession and it's only getting started, okay? We'll see what happens. Only time will tell, because then we can look back with 2020 vision and say, wow, look at that. We knew what happened because we can clearly see, because we can look at all the dots that aligned back in history. Anyway, long story short, it comes down to the economy. When we start to see things cracking really aggressively in the economy, which is, depending on who you ask, depending on what report you look at right now, things are cracking out there, okay? But it mostly comes down to the jobs market, okay? This is what's very, very important. Jobs in this economy basically run the entire economy. If everybody lost a job, would the economy be operating? Well, not really, right? If everybody was out of work. Now, obviously, that would never happen because there's no way that every single person in the entire country would be out of a job. If that were the case, we would have major issues that, honestly, I don't even know what that would mean, okay? It would be really bad. We'd probably be working with other things well outside the realm of worrying about a job at that point, okay? But every time that we see a recession or an economic contraction come in, what happens is a lot of jobs are lost. The unemployment rate goes significantly higher, okay? Anytime that we see an unemployment rate about 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, even 8%, 8% would be very high. Anytime that we see an unemployment rate around that 6+% range is when people start to get pretty worried. That's when they start to say, okay, guys, this is not good. The economy, is not doing so well. We're seeing a lot of people being laid off, jobs being lost, jobs being cut, businesses closing down, bankruptcies across the board. This is not a good picture, okay? So as of right now, unemployment rate is still relatively low, but we're starting to see, it's slowing down. The unemployment rate ticking a little higher. It's been holding stagnant for a very long time. It's ticked a little bit higher. We've seen few different things coming out, but that's what we got to watch very closely is the job market, okay? I would say that is probably number one when it comes down to what we want to watch to determine the likelihood of more checks coming out, because the job market shows exactly what's going on. Oh, jobs are being lost. That must mean that businesses are not hiring, but rather they are cutting positions. It means a lot of different things. When people are cutting positions, it means that they're cutting back spending. When they're cutting back spending, it means less money circulating in the economy, trading hands, less products being bought, less inventory building, less manufacturing being done, less sales being made, less business income flowing in, right? Again, it's all a big circle, and that's what I want to point out. So when it comes down to it, we just got to watch the economy very closely, okay? So again, I could go into a bunch of other things talking about the Federal Reserve and interest rates and the inflation rate and all kinds of things like this, manufacturing, all kinds of stuff. But what it really comes down to, the job market is number one on that list. It's all going to be shown evident in the job market, if that makes sense, okay? So again, I know that some of you here in the community have been reaching out down below in the comment section saying, can we get an SSDI update on a stimulus check? Now, here's the thing. The worst feeling out there, let's be real, the worst feeling is feeling like we've been left out, okay? Especially as fixed income beneficiaries. How many times have we looked at a piece of legislation, some bill, some package, some reform that comes out that says, hey, everybody gets a check. Oh, except for fixed income beneficiaries, because you already get a check from Social Security. Why would these people need a check, right? That's what they say sometimes. How many programs over the last 3.5 years or so have we seen come out where they announce money for a lot of people, virtually everybody, and then they say, oh, sorry, fixed income beneficiaries, sorry, you're not included, right? Yeah, that's the worst feeling out there, right? Feeling like we've been left out. So for those of you that have been reaching out down below in the comment section, I get it. Again, I don't want to sit here and pretend like I know what you're feeling like, but I think I can, resonate a little bit with all of this, feeling like, hey, to be left out is certainly not out of the norm. We've felt that way many times before. It's been the reality many times before. So anytime that we hear something coming out, natural instincts would think, oh, they forgot about us again. Huge shocker. Yeah, we're super surprised right now. They forgot us and they left us out, right? So it wouldn't be like all that far-fetched to feel like that's the reality. So I get it. A lot of times we just want to know, are we included? Just please tell me, are we included or not, right? So I can tell you this much. In the event of another stimulus check being issued, well, maybe it could be highly focused on fixed income beneficiaries. But if we are in a situation where we need another stimulus check because of the economy, of things that are going on, it's going to be highly focused on a lot of people, not just fixed income beneficiaries. That could happen too, but I would anticipate in the event of another one being issued, it would be going out to a huge percentage of the population, maybe not 85% of the population like it did last time with the $1,400 check, because we saw the consequences of that, right? But maybe a smaller percentage of people, maybe 70%, maybe 75%, something like that. But again, it's all going to be predicated on income. Income is income. Doesn't matter where income comes from. Income could come from walking dogs in your neighborhood. Income could come from a 9-to-5 job. It could come from your own small business, subcontracting. It could come from Social Security. Literally doesn't matter. Income is income. Dollars coming into your possession is income. Okay, that's what it comes down to. And that is always the leading factor to determine who would be eligible for a check. So I want to make it very clear that when we get into the situation where more checks, more money is needed, they're going to look at the situation and say, okay, everybody, we need a check for, people earning this much money, under this much money. Usually it's about $75,000 a year is the income threshold. So fixed income beneficiaries in general are well below that threshold, okay? So anyway, hope this helps you out to better understand what's going on here. And again, for those of you that are receiving SSDI or any fixed income benefit for that matter, I hope this better understands this, helps you to better understand the situation and what we come down to. But like I said, in the event of another check or something being issued, I would highly anticipate something going out to a huge percentage of the population. And then if they needed more after that, then we could possibly see a highly focused check. But I would see a big, broad one going out first, and then highly focused after that, okay? I wouldn't anticipate highly focused first and then broad after that, unless they come forward and they suggest, hey, remember the check that we got last time? It led to all that inflation, what they talk about. I don't agree with that, not totally anyway. But maybe they come out and suggest, hey, remember last time we got all that massive inflation in 2021, 2022, and 2023 because of the last checks that went out? Maybe we really tighten up on how many people actually get this. Wouldn't be such a bad solution either, because we saw the reports last time that those individuals who are higher income people that got the checks didn't need the checks. They used it to pay down bills. They used it to save it, stuff like that. That's not the point of stimulus checks. Saving a stimulus check is not what they want us to do. They want to spend it. That's what they want us to do with it. Saving? No. Paying down bills? No. Spend it? Yes. That's what they want with it. So anyway, I can always talk about that more in another video, but I hope this helps you to better understand what's going on here. And again, for those of you here in the community that have been asking in regards to a highly focused check, I hope this helps you to better understand what the situation is. So anyway, leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. If you need me to come back and elaborate on this further, of course, obviously, I will do that for you. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. I will continue watching everything very closely. As I get more information on anything going on, I will bring it to you immediately right now, because there's a lot of stuff going on out there. Anyway, enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one, and catch you again later in the next